Welcome back, everyone. Remember, in my previous video, we talked about how to go about working through your assignments. Today, I'm going to take an example. I want to refer to Unit 1, Assignment 1A. The first thing to do is to make sure you are clear about the requirements of the assignment. There are two things that make up this assignment. One is to describe an organization of your choice along the three organizational levels, and that is the pyramid you are familiar with. Operational level at the base, managerial level in the middle, and the executive at the top. Make sure you choose an organization you are familiar with to some extent. It will be difficult for you and time-consuming to do too much research if you don't know anything about the company you choose. The second component of the activity of the assignment is to identify some of the activities that this company is engaging in and the information system that may be involved at these levels. Remember that information systems have the goal of simplifying, helping, supporting, even replacing some of the operations of the company. These are some of the examples that you chose in the assignments that have been submitted already. Telecommunication, a telecommunication company. Somebody looked at the Malawi judiciary. Somebody looked at the general government hospital, a university, an insurance company, Malawi Gaming Board, a web domain registrar, and these are all very good. Let's take as an example the Malawi Gaming Board. Before we do that, I want to give you a few tips. Always start with the operational level. This is the level that will be most familiar to you as a consumer or as somebody who has known or interacted with the company. You will be able to know about key products. You might not know them all, but you'll be able to identify some of these key products and some of the key operations that the activity is involved in. You'll be able to have a good feel about how this organization is making money, what are the costs involved, and so on. And this will help you in understanding how the information system will be used in the key operations of the company. So back to our example. On the left-hand side, you can see what the student has listed as activities on the operational level. And these are all very good. Collecting revenues, monitoring that winnings are paid without delay, carrying out inspections, and so on. There's a few things missing there. But before I talk about that, how would you find out? Well, you'll have to do a bit of research, and this involves the use of the internet. So one thing you'll discover is that this organization actually has a website. Now, a website is not an information system per se, but it is an interface to possible existing information systems. So you have to now ask a question. What is an information system? What qualifies a system to be an information system? Is a website an information system? Of course, a website will be linked to some kind of database that stores this data. So the other question you'll be asking yourself, well, is a database an information system? But let's not talk about that now. Let's look at the website. And you can see here that there's a little bit of information that you can extract from the narrative describing what is the Malawi Gaming Board about. And the other thing you're going to see immediately is that this gaming board is a body, a regulatory body. It issues licenses, manages licenses, okay, and imposes and collects taxes on the activities and the licenses that it issued. Okay, so immediately you'll have a question at the back of your mind. What kind of data will this organization use in its operations? So if it is about issuing licenses, what kind of data are we talking about? If it's about collecting taxes, what kind of data is needed for this company to be able to operate in that activity of collecting taxes. But the other more fundamental question to ask yourself is, do I know this company? Do I understand what are the key products? Do I know the strategic goals? And if I don't, where do I find them? So if you look on this website, ask yourself, where can I find the strategic goals? Well, you can read, of course, you can get some kind of idea about what the board is involved in. You can see here there are requests for proposals for licenses. There's a message about fraudsters and so on. From Airtel, again, that's an interesting thing that makes you kind of ask some questions, but don't get distracted. Remember what we said in the first video, you need to keep focused on the key points. So let's have a look on the menu. Look on the menu, you can see that there are some downloads, there are some publications, but perhaps some of these publications will give you a better idea of the operations of this board. So if you click on publication, you can see there are different categories: annual reports, brochures, license adverts, newsletters. Well, the one you should go to, because again, as I said, this is not, you're not writing a book, you're not doing an in-depth research, you need to be focused on the key points quickly. The annual reports would be very useful. So I would download the latest annual report, and I did, and I want to show you the annual report. This is the PDF document. Now in the PDF document, which is a bit long, but you can kind of skim through it quickly, you'll see that there's a section there on the strategic goals. And this gives you an idea, what does the company want, this board? The operations will be linked to these goals. Okay, so this is excellent. So you can see there, issuing licenses, suspend or cancel, inquire into complaints, right? Perform inspections, okay? Regulate the procedures, okay? And so on. So immediately you are going to identify some of the data that this company will need to operate. So it will have to have information or a register of tax laws or tariffs. You will have to have some kind of register of the type of licensing that can be issued. And it has a register of competitions. If there are competitions or inspections to be carried out, it also has to have a register of complaints. Now you see, in all these particular operations, there will be some kind of information gathering or collection, information storage, and information processing. And this is where information systems come into play. So now you should be looking, what kind of information system should this company use? Maybe it's using some already, and you can possibly find out through the website. If you don't, you can take these operations, the key operations, one by one, and think about the kind of information systems that would be useful. Okay, now be careful, you're not going to be able to go through all the key operations. It's going to take long. But if you can take 2 or 3, and this is quite like a rule of thumb, 2 or 3 good examples will demonstrate your knowledge and will demonstrate your capability to expand on this knowledge. Remember, when you do an exam or an assignment, you're not going to be able to be 100% covering all the content, but you need to demonstrate your analytical skills. If you give 2 or 3 well-developed examples, that is sufficient. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.